Greetings, Chrymzon here, and I wanted to make a video going over the 3 gangs that have been introduced so far in the Saints Row reboot. Something that I noticed was pretty peculiar about each of the gangs is that each one seems to represent a different era of Saints Row. If you take a close look, to me it seems that Los Panteros are supposed to be a representation of Saints Row 1. Then we have the Marshals that seem to almost be a blatant ripoff of Ultor. And lastly, we have the Idols, which to me represents the Saints when they embraced the celebrity culture around themselves and pretty much sold out. Though I know that not everyone may be a fan of the gangs that have been introduced, I do think that each one of them stemmed from a good place initially in the concept phase. Now I kind of want to go into more of the speculation part of the video and talk about how I believe each of the gangs formed and how they tie into one another. In the Welcome to Santo Ileso trailer that was released, it was mentioned that Los Panteros are the soul of Santo Ileso. So what I am hoping is that since the Panteros also seem like a representation of Saints Row 1, that they are going to fulfill a similar role to Los Carnales. I believe that at one point, Los Panteros may have owned all of Santo Ileso, and then over time they slowly lost control to the Marshals and to the Idols. The way that I'm kind of imagining how all of this worked is perhaps Marshall used to be a small-time business partner that had dealings with Los Panteros, and then as Marshall grew larger in size, he was able to branch out and gain more powerful connections, eventually splitting off from Los Panteros and forming the Marshals. Now, in my Kevin and the Idols video that I released on YouTube a while back, I already went over my thoughts on exactly how the Idols may have come to be. A really quick rundown is that I'm thinking that as the Marshals grew in strength and influence, they eventually pushed out the smaller businesses from Santo Ileso, causing them to go bankrupt. This would then go on to form the run-down areas and the slums. This would also explain why the Idols have set up shop in an abandoned theme park. Overall, I would say that I think the idea behind the gangs were decent if they truly meant to represent each era of Saints Row. I know that some people might not necessarily like the Marshals because of their heavy emphasis on the sci-fi aspect of things, and some people may not necessarily like the Idols because they're shirtless and they dress really odd. But I think that the basic premise was in the right place. And if they didn't have their super hardcore gangsters running around in cat helmets, maybe it would have gotten a better reception. Anyways, that's all for the video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.